Hey guys, Underground Geek here. And I was just thinking, I just recently did a review on Silk, and we were kind of talking about how the whole copycat spider thing is very unoriginal and it's been done to death, and it seems like everybody in the Spider-Verse has Spider-Man powers. You know what I mean? It's not unique, it's not cool anymore. They've taken the spark away from it, and it's just done to death at this point. Basically, anybody can be Spider-Man, so therefore Spider-Man is not special anymore. It's basically what they've done. You've got, I won't even go through all the lists of the Spider-Man characters they have right now. There's like 9 of them. But anyway, that got me to thinking. I was saying, why haven't they just come up with another original character in the story? Like, why can't they have somebody that has beetle abilities? Why can't they have somebody that has a scorpion ability? I know that they have the scorpion, but I'm talking like a real scorpion abilities. There's all of these insects in the world, and they've barely touched on it. They have the fly, they have all this other stuff, but they barely touched on that. So it got me to thinking. And I spent about 10 minutes just then and come up with a backstory of a new character. And you tell me what you think, but if I could come up with this in like 10 minutes, why can't somebody else come up with anything? Which makes me believe that more than likely there are people that are creative in the comic book industry and they're being silenced. That's the only thing I can come up with. Nobody's this stupid. Either they don't want original or they're not that smart. You be the judge. But anyway, so as I was sitting here thinking, I just kind of came up with a story of my own, and I want to see what you guys think about it. Well, here's the thing. This character, his name is Devin Armstrong, okay? That's just a name of this guy on top of my head, Devin Armstrong. He was a jock in high school, very good at football. He was a running back. Also played defensive linebacker, if you need to get specific. But he wasn't the best and he wasn't the worst. He was really good, kind of stand out, but never really made anything of himself, but could have had a future, Semi-popular with the ladies in high school, not quite Flash Thompson popular, but, kind of popular. Well, one day something happens to one of his friends and he is blamed for their murder, okay? Well, it all kind of goes pretty quick, and he's actually sentenced and found guilty for manslaughter and serves 10 years for it. Now, since the evidence was so shaky, they let him go after 10 years. It could have been a little bit longer. Maybe he got 15 years and they let him out in 10 for good behavior. We can always work out those semantics later. Specifics, I mean. But, so time goes by. He went to, he had just got out of school. He's starting college, and so he's about the age of 18, 19 years old, just old enough to be charged as an adult. So he goes to prison, gets convicted. 10 years later, he's out. He's now 29 years old. Now, at this point, he has no family. His family's pretty much abandoned him or moved away. And the only person he has is his crazy drunk uncle, which is a old war vet. Now, the cool thing about this is I kind of got this idea off the top of my head, and it seems very organic, but the name of his uncle is actually Frank Castle, and you might know him as the Punisher in the comic books. And that's just something that I kind of pulled off the top of my head, but his drunk uncle, which is now an old man, is Frank Castle, and he's the only one that will put up with Devin. They have a very strained relationship to begin with because, of course, Frank thinks he's a murderer, and Devin knows he's not, and he also doesn't get along with his uncle because his uncle drinks too much. And then when he's drunk, he tells all these crazy stories about when he was younger. And so as this goes on, of course, Devin can't find a job because he's a convicted murderer. So this goes on for a little while, and he's trying to find money, and he sees an ad in the newspaper for, testing, makeup testing, immunizations, fast cash, no questions asked, fast cash, $3 signs on the ad. He's thinking, here we go, I'll make a little bit of money. I was just going to sell my plasma, so that maybe this will be better. So he finds the facility on the outskirts of town, goes in there, talks to the people. They're very hush-hush. They don't want to talk to him. They don't want to They whisk him in there, tell him that they're testing a new form of flu immunization. Okay, so they give him the shot. Nothing happens. They say, well, we'll check back with you in a couple of weeks to see how it transpires. Well, after a while, a couple of days passes, and he knows something's kind of odd. Something's going on about him. He doesn't feel quite right. Well, something's going to happen. I haven't quite figured it out yet. Maybe he stops a car from running someone over. Maybe he stops a mugger. Maybe he gets hit by a car walking on the street, not paying attention, thinking about his worries. And in doing this, he actually survives. He damages his vehicle beyond belief, hurts the muggers, in some other way with extreme strength. And come to find out now, he really knows something is wrong. Well, he does some checking, gets a friend of his. Maybe he's got a friend that has a background in biology or something like that from high school. Background in chemistry, is actually able to test his blood and find out that there is actually insect DNA in the shot that he was given. More specifically, a stag or a Hercules beetle. One or the other. I hadn't quite figured it out because I just wrote it down on top of my head. Maybe a Hercules beetle. So in doing this, it's actually granted him abilities. He doesn't know all of them yet, but it's going to give him increased strength, increased durability to his skin, and increased senses to sense things around him in the air, like an insect would. And then this is going to go on because he's going to discover these abilities, and he's going to think he is a freak, and his friend's going to tell him, hey, you really need to get something done. He goes to the hospital. They don't know what to do, and so he leaves the hospital. And then kind of goes on his way. He's trying to find a cure at this point. He's trying to find a cure for the sickness, quote unquote, that he has. Trying to get things back to normal. His life's already been ruined, and now he's also part bug. So at this point, life can't get any worse. So while he's trying to find a cure, that's where the adventures are going to kind of start. He's not going to know his way. It's going to strain his relationship with his uncle. His uncle's going to wonder where he's at all the time. Be very violent with him at that point. And then he's going to kind of grow into himself, find out what his mission is, maybe help people here and there, and end up maybe even becoming a superhero at this point. Maybe even becoming, Hercules or something at that point. Some kind of code name, give him some kind of cool code name. But anyway, all this time that it's going on, all this time he's trying to find out what's happening and find a cure, he's going to feel like somebody's watching him. Things kind of go too good sometimes. Things kind of, he gets out of situations a little bit too easy, almost like someone's unlocking doors for him, things like that. And then he's going to kind of investigate that on the side and find out that it's actually the facility that give him the shot has been watching him, and that's going to be dynamic in the comic book, because when he went back, to kind of ask them questions about the shot and get a checkup, they were all gone. It was cleared out. It had been raided by the police or something. So then come to find out they're still watching him. They're trying to interpret his powers, trying to see if they can use him, and that's pretty much all I've got for the story. But you see, that was like 9 minutes worth of stuff, and just tell me, would you read that comic? I just come off the top of my head. I'm not trying to blow any smoke. But I think it's okay premise. I think that might be a good story. And it's going to be set in kind of the future where the other superheroes are getting a little older. You don't see them as much anymore. And it gives it a chance for these new heroes to develop. But tell me what you think, guys. Because there's just no way that people are that unoriginal and have that little creativity at Marvel right now. It doesn't make sense. But that's my 2 cents. That's my story. Tell me what you think. Hit me up with any ideas. And have a great day, guys. Bye.